Hey everyone, it's Steven. So I wanted to show another new DeFi app, right? So this one I'm actually showing because I wanted to try it out and see if it might be something worthwhile for the time being to get some of their tokens and like yield some of their tokens. And the one is called Alchemix. I think they have a pretty interesting take in that I'm sharing it because, and I'm actually taking the time to try it out because what they do is basically you put in your DAI, your DAI token, and which is a stable coin, right? So it's similar to US dollar, and then they give you can take out this thing called alUSD or which is their version of a stable coin, which really isn't that interesting, right? If you look on the surface, right? If you put in $100 worth of DAI and then borrow out like what 50% of that, that's actually you're just putting in dollars and taking out dollars. There's nothing special about that, right? But what Alchemix also does is that they take your DAI and actually yield farm on it on platforms like Yearn.finance and others so that the debt that you have borrowed out in alUSD actually slowly decreases over time, which is really quite interesting. And so this is pretty interesting, the way they do it. Of course, the yield isn't really that high for Alchemix, but I like sort of like some of the things that they've done on here, and potentially if their team adds on a couple more projects that are more useful, or uses this right to add on new stuff, right? Because Alchemix is basically creating their own stablecoin now, right? By creating your stablecoin, now you can have synthetic assets available for you to create as well, right? So synthetics, after they created the SUSD, they're able to make S Tesla and all these other assets are really useful. So I think it's a promising project, I think, and it seems really interesting. So I wanted to at least see if I put in some money into this project and borrow some alUSD, if I can also get the Alchemix token, right? So their Alchemix token is called ALCX. So yeah, I'm gonna go into right now. So just gonna get some DAI and then test this out and show you guys what it looks like. So one thing to note is that Alchemix right now doesn't support Wallet Connect. So I'm actually going to use the Metamask Chrome extension to do this. Do note, I usually don't recommend the Metamask Chrome extension, but in this case, I'm going to use it. I'm actually not going to use my regular wallet. I set up a new wallet to send some DAI over to the wallet on my Chrome extension, right? And the reason is that I generally don't trust the Chrome extension to hold my wallet private keys. Yeah, and I actually suggest a lot of people to do the same. Use separate wallets on the Chrome extension one, and actually send funds to your Chrome extension ones when you need it. Otherwise, use the Wallet Connect or the iPhone app instead. So yeah, and while I'm here, I'm actually going to take a quick look at some of the stats just to see how popular the project is. Usually I do this just to make sure there's no like red flags around the project. I haven't done much research into the Alchemix team, so don't put too much money into Alchemix. It's not a project like Compound Finance, right? It's fairly new. I don't know the audits and things like that they've done, and their team hasn't been in the space as long. So yeah, so if you're trying out Alchemix, just test it out, but don't put too much of your funds into it. And so, yeah, so it seems like they have about $171 million worth of alUSD. So if considering that about everybody that puts in DAI borrowed 50%, right? They actually hold about $300 million worth of DAI in their contract, right? If they're not a scam, right? Maybe on a follow-up video, I might do a in-depth review of the whole project, check out some of the source code and things like that to let you guys know if it's a scam project. That might be helpful to you guys. Let me know in the YouTube comments, and that'll let me know that that's a video I should prioritize over some of my other ideas for videos. And yeah, so but yeah, so far it looks like it's used quite a bit actually. So about $300 million worth of DAI locked up, which is really cool. That they have so much demand, right? 300 million is not a small amount for any DeFi app out there. And yeah, so one thing I'm going to show you before I end this video is actually if I can actually use the Alchemix.USD to do stuff, right? So I'm going to see if the exchanges listed like SushiSwap or some of these other exchanges and see if I can sell my alUSD for some of the other tokens, right? To actually use it, right? So right here, I'm on Zapper.Fi to see if they give me an option to convert my alUSD. So right now I don't actually see alUSD. Let's see. Oh, sorry. I have to connect my Metamask account. Let me just pause this and then I'll come back with my Metamask account. So I just logged out of all my other wallet accounts and I'm just going to connect with Metamask now. Okay, so now my Metamask account is connected. My alUSD shows up, and then I'm going to see if I can convert it to, let's say, Ethereum, right? So, this is interesting. So Zapper.Fi tells me that there are no other listed exchanges right now that accept alUSD, right? So let me see if CoinMarketCap gives me any ideas on where I can potentially sell alUSD, right? So the issue that this comes to mind is that if you are putting in DAI and borrowing this alUSD, right? And if the alUSD isn't really useful or you can't actually trade it out, now if the project takes your DAI, you're pretty much stuck, right? With your, if alUSD isn't interchangeable back to DAI, now you're kind of stuck. And yeah, so it could be kind of dangerous. So looking here at CoinMarketCap, I don't see any exchanges right now. Let me search up alUSD Alchemix exchanges. See if anything shows up there. Let's see if CoinGecko has anything. So CoinGecko also doesn't have anything. Okay, so I was reading this article and I found something where, so I don't see alUSD being listed on any exchanges like Uniswap or SushiSwap, but they do have a transmuter sort of tab, it says that it seems like you can deposit your alUSD and then take it, perhaps take it out in some other asset potentially. So let me see if, at least that's what the article says. So I'm going to actually try this out and show you guys if that's actually the case, right? So I'm just approving my alUSD here and see what it gives me. So looking at their transmute page, it seems like I can't actually turn the alUSD into another like legit crypto coin, right? Or asset like ETH or DAI or something else. It seems like what I can do is I can stake it, and then it'll take that staked one and gradually convert it into DAI over time. I don't really like that because I want to make, like, for example, if you're putting in a lot of money into this, right, you don't want, like, that's pretty, like, if the developers on the team just take your DAI, right, now you're stuck, right? So with 100% of whatever you put in gone, right, if your alUSD is worthless. Let me see if there's anything else on here that I can do. Seems like I can also stake my alUSD to get some Alchemix tokens here. I'm going to try that out and see if what that looks like. So right now I'm just waiting for the call or the transaction to complete here. And then now it's completed. Let's see what it looks like staking it. I'm going to edit the gas to make it faster so we don't have to wait as long. So I just staked all my alUSD. And then let's see what the rewards are like. Yeah. So it doesn't even show me how much Alchemix tokens I'm getting, right? Let's see here. If I click claim rewards, right? It does show me the amount of the gas fee, but I don't see how much Alchemix tokens I'm actually claiming, right? So yeah, I guess that's about it. Yeah, I mean, alUSD is basically worthless then, right? As you've seen. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like this project seems to be growing really quickly, right? And seems like you can take out your DAI, and let's see if I can at least like liquidate and take back my DAI, right? Over here, so let's press liquidate and take out my DAI, just to make sure that I can do that. And it seems like the transaction goes through, so there is that, right? But yeah, otherwise, if you put in your tokens in there, be careful. alUSD isn't really being used anywhere. There's no liquidity on it on any exchange, so it's kind of a worthless token, right? alUSD. So I'm curious what Alchemix is doing. I might have to spend some more time to research into it, but be very careful with this project. I didn't put in a lot of money into it. I was just testing it to show you guys, right? And yeah, so I may make a follow-up video exploring some of the contract code, why they created this, and what Alchemix is about. Hopefully they're not a scam project that they're just trying to do raise for their Alchemix tokens and then just flood the markets with it, right? And take that money out. I hope that's not the case. And yeah, and then if anybody has any other details about Alchemix, let me know in the YouTube comments, or just tweet at me. I love to hear. I read every comments. And yeah, and if this was helpful, let me know. And like this video or subscribe. I just plopped down $1,000 into this for this video. And if this is a scam, I do lose it all. So really appreciate if you do leave a like or subscribe. And anyways, yeah, hope that was helpful. And hope that shows you some of this stuff without you needing to put your own money into this, right? So yeah, thanks, and I'll catch you on the next video. See you guys.